Hello, brothers and sisters, and welcome to The Last Ego on Earth. This is a course in the car, and I am taking a drive, and I just thought I would speak to you guys a little bit today while I'm driving home from the grocery store. I hope everybody's doing well, and I'm just going to see here what Holy Spirit wants me to say. I was thinking about the atonement today, and what the atonement means, and what we need to do to become a part of the atonement. When I first learned of the course and what the atonement was, I wasn't quite sure what Jesus was talking about. I don't think I felt that I was worthy of becoming a part of the atonement. It's only in the last probably 5 years that it started really sinking in what the atonement means. So when we're in fear and we're in upset, that's one thing that we need to do, is to let go of those things. And what Jesus wants us to do is get in our right side of our mind, the correct part of our mind that's beyond separation thoughts, be them anger, upset, pain, suffering. That's within us, punishing ourselves or punishing others outside of ourselves. They're both the same thing. Our inside thoughts are making our outside world, and Jesus is a part, or the head of the atonement, which is God's plan for us to awaken from separation. As soon as the separation happened, God's so good, the atonement plan was already put in place and ready to go. So all the different layers and all the different lifetimes that the split mind has created, all the different dimensions of time, are all the illusion of separation. And all the little things that the egoic mind has created out of separation is only one thing, one problem, and that is fear. Fear is what is causing the separated self. Fear is what is creating the separated self. That's the number one problem that the mind is having, and it's so used to, for all, in the dream, is so used to pain and suffering that it thinks it's the truth. The ego believes that the suffering and the pain is what is normal, and that's why it's so hard for us to let it go from an ego standpoint. And when we become a part of the atonement, that's what the Course is speaking of when it says we're uncovering the blocks to love's presence. So the blocks is that fear created from the ego and all the different separated parts of it, that now we can start uncovering. And a lot of people that I've spoken to, and even I can speak for myself, didn't understand that it really was stemming from me. So the ego always wants to point out, well, they did it, and they did it, and they did it, and they did it. Jesus wants us to know from the Course perspective, nope, we are the ones who are projecting it. So that's how we let it go. And we let it go by simply choosing love and letting it go, or as the Course terms, forgiving it. Finding forgiveness within ourselves to just let go of that separated part of ourselves. And once we do that, the pain and the suffering and the separation starts dissipating in ourselves, so that we become a clear vessel or instrument or communication device for the atonement. That's where we are taking up our mantle and becoming a part of the solution instead of the egoic problem. And the problem, of course, is the ego's nightmaric separated self. And when we are ready to pick up that mantle any time of the day, we are helping collapse the egoic thought system. The ego does not understand love, will never understand love, but can be used by the Holy Spirit for salvation purposes. The classroom is the world now for us. If we take up the atonement, now we get to go around in the projection and heal ourselves by saving our brothers and sisters. Not that they actually need saving, we do. It's such a beautiful thing. We are actually waking up ourselves by waking up our brothers and sisters. The projection is being projected outside of ourselves so that we can see it as a symbol and we can let it go. It's a wonderful system of salvation, and it's also our walk home back to our Creator. It's a beautiful thing, and it's very important when we're in those moments to after we've let it go is to have gratitude, enjoy, happiness, or all the things that will get us back on the track of what we truly are, which is love. And love only expresses love. If we're in love and giving love, it will be expressed out of us, and things just get lighter and lighter and more beautiful. Life just gets easier. And when I say life, again, we're speaking in the dream, but I like to think of it as God is slowly waking us up to our truth and using our illusions and gradually waking us up out of it. And then all the separated aspects of ourselves will be let go. We won't even be affected by them. The home of the ego, of course, is our body. So the ego likes to trick us a lot of times by making us feel sick, weak, backaches, sore throats, addictions, all the things that the body does. Those also can be let go, and it's still through forgiveness. Even no matter what the body is trying to tell us, we just continually hand it over to Holy Spirit. Say, Holy Spirit, take this back pain away. And it might be a lesson where we are slowly chipping away at that pain for years, possibly. We could have back pain for years, but we still have to remember to let it go in our mind, because our body is created by the mind and the egoic mind. And the egoic mind wants us to believe that we're a body, because it takes our true selves out of our love and brings us into the egoic thought system, believing that we're a body. So even our body needs to be cleansed of the specialness that we put into it by forgiving. And we just do that daily. I've had just recently some back pains and things like that. And I continually have to remember I'm not a body, I am free. That's one of the lessons in the Course. I continually repeat that in my mind, and also hand that over to Holy Spirit and say, I'm not a body, I am free. Take this pain, this is going to rhyme, but please take this back pain away from me. I think that would be a great mantra. But just letting it go, remembering we are not bodies, and that becoming a part of the atonement, we can let that go so that our bodies can be the communication device that it was meant to be in the first place, which is only communicating love. Out of any situation, becoming a part of the atonement, you might be led by Holy Spirit or Jesus to walk into a dark place, or that seems dark. It might be a situation that to the egoic mind seems really dark. There's a lot of people that might be in a frantic situation, but you're there to be the light in that situation through the atonement. And you have to remember that being a part of the atonement, Holy Spirit and Jesus and everyone else that's awake on the other side is there to help you awaken and be the light in that situation. You're never alone. The ego wants you to feel that way, that you're a separated self that's not worthy of love, but you are always held by God, by the extension of God, which is the Holy Spirit. Never alone. Not any point in the time has Holy Spirit left us, has Jesus left us. They are inside of us, and they're always there when we need them. We can call upon them to become a part of the atonement and to be letting go of the separated self. All right, guys. I hope this found you well. I just felt guided to have another Course in the Car talk with you guys. It's been wonderful talking to some of you guys on Messenger and in the group. If you would like to become a part of the group, please just sign up on Facebook. It's The Last Ego on Earth, a conversation through A Course in Miracles. Just join the group there, and we have a wonderful community there. And I like to let you guys know that it's just a conversation. No one's preaching at you. It's, everybody's at different levels of the course there. We have a lot of wonderful members, brothers and sisters that are there to help you if you have any questions. No question about the course is a silly question. A lot of these concepts to an ego is hard to grasp. And of course, the ego does not want you to wake up, but never feel embarrassed to step forward and ask a question about the course. If we're doing the course correctly, which, if we're teaching this, I love talking about the course, because speaking of the course, and if somebody's kind of seems to be a little bit lower in their thought systems about the course or the understanding, I strengthen when I speak about the course, and so do you. So I always welcome talking about the course. So feel free to bring up any questions you have. All right, guys, peace be with you. I love you, and I will see you guys on the other side.
Prepare yourself from the birth to the dirt. Prepare yourself for all it's worth. Prepare yourself from the birth to the dirt. Prepare yourself, the last ego on earth. Prepare yourself from the dirt to the birth. Prepare yourself from the birth to the dirt. The last ego on earth.